Today, I want to share a perspective that might challenge how you think about relationships. The way someone argues with you can reveal how deeply they love you. If you want to know whether someone is right for you, it's simple. Just look at how they handle conflict. When the relationship is peaceful and calm, it's hard to notice someone's flaws. But when arguments arise or emotions run high, that's when people let their guard down, revealing their true character. In psychology, this guard is tied to defense mechanisms. Each person has a unique one, shaped by their personality. Different personalities mean different defense styles, so only people with similar personalities typically share similar defense mechanisms. Where do defense mechanisms come from? They're formed by a person's childhood experiences and past relationships. If you really want to understand someone, one of the best ways is to have a disagreement with them. By triggering their defense mechanisms, you can see glimpses of their past and get closer to their true thoughts and emotions. Conflicts can bring hidden feelings and psychological patterns to the surface, helping you understand them on a deeper level. Example, the avoidant personality. If your partner has an avoidant personality, when an argument happens, they won't hurl harsh criticism or fixate on who's right or wrong. Instead, they'll shut down quickly, like covering their ears and hiding away. No matter how upset you get or how much you feel hurt, they won't listen. Why? Because when confronted, avoidant types often crawl into a cave and cut off communication. That's their defense mechanism, a protective barrier that shields them from potential emotional harm. To them, arguing feels like a personal attack, so they shut the door to protect themselves. This defense mechanism might stem from intense verbal abuse in the past or from a childhood where parents belittled them. Those negative experiences leave deep marks on their psyche and gradually become a natural form of self-protection. If you're with someone like this, you'll find it tough to resolve conflicts. Once they close themselves off, communication is nearly impossible, often leading to coldness or even emotional violence. They're not just blocking out pain, they're also blocking empathy. So no matter how much hurt or love you show, they can't feel it. That's why being with an avoidant partner can feel like dealing with someone who's cold or indifferent. But it doesn't mean they lack empathy. It's more about self-preservation. When they sense a threat, they instinctively lock themselves away. Unfortunately, this can unintentionally hurt the person closest to them. Digging deeper, it reveals they're extremely afraid of getting hurt. To avoid any potential emotional harm, they shut out all intentions, good or bad. Yet sometimes arguments aren't just about venting anger. They can also be about expressing unmet needs or hidden pain. The more someone fears getting hurt, the more pain they've likely endured before. Almost every avoidant person has faced emotional trauma in childhood and tried countless times to communicate or stand up for themselves, only to fail. That's how they ended up relying on this one-size-fits-all defense mechanism to protect themselves. It's easy to label avoidant people as too cold. But remember, it's this very defense mechanism that's been with them since childhood, time after time. On the other side, the anxious personality. In contrast, someone with an anxious personality reacts to conflict by losing emotional control. They quickly become more aggressive, using attack as their defense. It's like saying, "I'll scare you first so you don't hurt me." This doesn't mean they truly want to fight. It's their way of crying out for attention. All their heated words are really about unmet emotional needs, a desire to be seen, heard, and loved. The anxiety is just how they express it, not the core issue. Because anxious types typically lack a sense of being loved, there's a strong chance their caregivers never noticed or met their inner needs when they were kids. The parents just forced their plans onto the child. As a result, the child feels their true self isn't lovable. So during a conflict, their instinct is to constantly show themselves, using any tactic to get the other person to grasp what they feel and want. Sadly, they'd never learned a healthy way to communicate. They end up expressing their fears or insecurities by snapping or blaming their partner. If their partner is mature and can see through the angry words to the fear underneath, they can offer compassion. But if the partner has an avoidance, why conflict reveals true needs. The more arguments you have, the clearer it becomes what someone fears. Ultimately, you start seeing what they really want. Conflict isn't something to fear, it's something to face courageously. Confrontation allows both people to learn about each other's triggers and adapt. By doing so, you'll find the best way to interact with each other, making their relationship sweeter and more enduring. Follow me to learn how to nurture a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship.